So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review of newly launched products at Sephora. So I was recently scrolling through Sephora's website looking at all the new products that have launched, so I thought I would randomly pick a bunch of products that I haven't tried before, do a full face of makeup for you guys, and we can test out which products are good and which products aren't. I do have a tiny little bruise right there. I went and got my filler refreshed today and it bruised a little bit, but we're still going to go ahead and do a full face of makeup. So the first product I'm going to start out with today is from Freck Beauty. And honestly, I bought this product because of the name. It's called Rich Bitch Hydrating Face Primer Serum. It's 1 ounce, 30 mils, and it retails for $49. So what I found interesting about the product is that it has stretch in it. And I've never seen a primer do this before. You see that? It's got some weird stretch on it. What that is supposed to do is be able to move with your skin. Not really sure. It smells sort of flowery, medicinally. I am going to take a little brush and just apply it to my skin. It's going on really smoothly. I'm not so happy about the fragrance, but I do feel like my skin has some really nice radiance. So my next item is from Summer Fridays. Sheer Tint with hyaluronic acid and squalene. This is 1 ounce or 30 mils. It retails for $55. I got the shade number 2. Ooh, okay. It is quite runny. I am going to use my foundation brush to apply it with. I'll do half my face so we can see what it looks like applied and not applied. It's a very, very light coverage. When they say sheer, they mean sheer. But I don't really notice that much of a change in my overall skin or if my texture is any better. Let's go on to the concealer. So Glossier is now being sold at Sephora, and I do have some of their blushes already. I do like their products. What I purchased was the Stretch Concealer for Dewy Buildable Coverage. It's 0.17 ounces or 4.8 grams. It retails for $26. I purchased the shade G8 Medium Neutral. So it's pretty rich, it's pretty creamy. What I liked is that it said it was stretchable. Not emphasize the fine lines and wrinkles under my eye area, but will work with the skin to sort of cover up some of that red. I'm going to put a little bit on my chin. It's also blending out really easy with the brush. Okay, that's actually super cute. So the next item I bought was from Tower 28 Beauty. This is the Sculptino Soft Matte Cream Contour Bronzer. It's 0.158 ounces or 4.5 grams. Retails for $26. I bought the shade Getty. It's just light medium with neutral undertones. That's shade number 2. I do like cream products because they're very easy to apply. You don't actually need to have any sort of tools or brushes for them. They're great in the wintertime actually, especially if your skin's on the drier side. I'm going to see what happens if we put it right on the brush. Let's see what happens when we try and blend it out with the Beauty Blender. Actually, that's super pretty. I really do like the shade. I like that it went on super smooth. It applied easy with my finger. It applied super easy with my synthetic brush. I purchased the Melt Cosmetics Gemini Eyeshadow Palette number 1. It's 8 matte shades with 2 pressed metallics. It retails for $74. It's got Gemini embossed in the middle there. It does come with a mirror. So these are more of your neutral shades, I'm going to say. And then this is the fun part of the palette. I have to admit, this is outside my comfort zone or my wheelhouse. I was super excited to try something in the green area because that's not normally what I wear. This is Polka Dot. And that's just one swipe. The next shade was Cupcake. Like, look at that. That's just gorgeous. And then this was Leo. These are really, really pigmented. This is Gemini. That's Goals. Just beautiful. And like you see how pigmented those are and then how gorgeous the metallics are. I'm going to take the first color. It's called Luna. Goes on very smoothly. Wow. I'm going to take a little of the Polka Dot. I'm literally just tapping it into the skin. I don't need to put a lot of pressure. I'm going to go into the shade Cupcake there. That's the darker brown. And I'm going to bring it into my crease. This is where I would normally stop and maybe put a little bit of shimmer at that part of my eye. But those greens in the palette, I totally want to try something with the greens. And I do have naturally green eyes, and you can wear green eyeshadow with green eyes. It is supposed to help intensify the green. I'm gonna go into Fire 06. I wanna see if I can get the two shades to sort of mix together. I'm gonna take a liner brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Bonnie. It's a nice matte black. I'm going to use it to line my eyelashes. That black is a beautiful black, and it is so smooth. I'm going to take some of the polka dot and I'm going to add some liner to my bottom lash. And I'm just going to add a little bit of that green under the eyeshadow there. Just buff it out. I'm going to go into the color Lorelei right there. And I'm just going to go above just to lighten it a little bit. I'm going to take the shimmer shade Gemini, and I'm going to dab it in the first third of my eyelid. These eyeshadows are so buttery, so smooth, they blend out so easily. That would look amazing on an eye. All black with some beautiful green in the middle. Okay. So for blush, I bought the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Beauty Blush Wand. It's 0.4 ounces or 12 milliliters, retails for $52, and I bought the color Dream Pop. I do have her bronzer wand, and this is one of her glow highlighter wands. Normally with these wands that have this cushion up top, you push up the product, it comes to the top, and then you can dab it onto the area and either use your finger or use a brush to apply it with. However, I watched online that these are very, very pigmented. So you do have to unlock the wand first. I'm going to press up a little bit of product. You can see how pigmented that is. So I'm going to dab some on the back of my hand. So I'm going to put a little bit on my finger, and then I'm just going to dab it onto my cheek. I do like the idea that you can use a lot of products with just your finger. So you don't need to own a lot of brushes. Super pretty. But you see how pigmented that is. Like, I have no blush on that side, and look at that. And that was... So my friend Martha talked me into buying this, the Givenchy Prism Libre Loose Setting and Finishing Powder. It is 0.42 ounces or 14.5 milliliters. So I purchased shade 3, Volley Rose. It's supposed to brighten, smooth, and even out complexion. This was $74. $74. Supposedly this is all over Instagram. So the shades are light pink, pink, darker pink, and a light brown. It also smells like roses. I'm not a fan of scent in my makeup. It's like intense rose smell. I'm going to place the powder in the top of the lid, and hopefully all 4 shades come out together. So I'm going to use the little Givenchy puffer that comes with it. I'm going to pat, got all 4 colors in there. I'm just going to press it into the skin. It is quite white. What you're seeing is correct. It came on rather pink, rather white. And I'm just going to pat some in to my oily areas. And I always go under my contour or my blush to help set my base and sort of clean up the blush area. Okay, so the powder does get in the air a little bit and it's very fine, so I did suck some in there. So I'm going to take whatever's left over on a brush because it does say you can use it with a brush. I'm going to let the powder sit for a bit while I move on to some highlighter. The Danessa Myricks Beauty Vision Flush Glow Hyper Radiant Liquid Highlighter. 0.2 ounces or 6 mils, retails for $26, and I bought the shade Electric Love. So I'm going to dab a little bit on the upper part of my cheek. Take my finger, just dab it in. It's very light, very pretty, very soft. Just looks like you've got this really nice, pretty illumination. I'm going to put a little on my Cupid's bow before I put my lip product on. This is from Haus Labs. This is the Hybrid Lip Oil, 0.25 ounces or 7 mils, retails for $31. I bought the shade Primary, which is Sheer Cherry. It goes on very smoothly. It's not sticky, it's not tacky. So it's not a lipstick, this is a lip oil. A lip oil is meant to just give some hydration to the lip and add a little bit of color. This just enhances my natural pink and just sort of intensifies the color a little bit. Is it just me or are my eyes more glowy than normal? You can definitely see the green. So this is my final look of all the new products that launched at Sephora. So I'm going to run through the products and let you guys know what I liked and what I didn't like. This is from Freck Beauty. This is the Rich Bitch Primer. I actually really liked it. I like that it added some nice radiance. Because it's a little tacky, I think a foundation actually would stick better, and I think you'd get a really nice luminosity, a really nice radiance underneath the base product. So based on that, I really liked it. However, what I didn't like was the smell. Even after I wiped it off my hand, after I did the application, my hand still smells like the product. I don't get why they put such a fragrance in there. So based on how it looked and how it felt on my skin, I really liked it. Based on the smell, not so much. The next time I do a full face and I'm going to put a full foundation on, I am curious to see how this wears underneath more of a heavy base product. For right now, I'm going to say it's 50-50. So next is the Sheer Skin Tint from Summer Fridays. I didn't like this at all. I don't feel like it evened out my skin tone. I don't feel like it helped to blur anything. And it sort of pilled on my face after. It actually feels half empty. And I don't know if it picks up on camera, but you can actually see it's indented here as if there's air in there. Summer Fridays does really good skincare. I have a lot of their masks. I really enjoy their products. I feel like the texture feels more like a serum than it does for a tinted moisturizer. If it's not going to enhance my skin and make it look better, then I don't know why you would put it on your face. And this wasn't cheap. This was $55. This is a plastic container to boot. I would pass on the Summer Fridays Sheer Tint. However, if you are looking for a good base product that's a tinted moisturizer, I would recommend the Rare Beauty Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer. This is an amazing, amazing tinted moisturizer. It will even out skin tone, it will blur imperfections, and it will make your skin just look radiant, glowy, and very youthful. And it's a very light formula, so it doesn't look like you're wearing a lot of base product, and it actually feels very light on the skin. And it has SPF 20. So this is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I actually really did like this. It is very smooth. It's very creamy. It goes on super, super smoothly. My skin just has this really nice dewy radiance to it. My under eye area looks brightened. It looks highlighted. It did cover up some acne scars that I have on my chin. So if you're looking for a pot concealer that has a little bit of dewiness to it, and you want something that maybe isn't full coverage, but it's more like a medium coverage, I would highly recommend the Glossier Stretchable Concealer Bronzer. Tower 28. This is the first time I've ever tried anything from this brand. Went on very smooth, very creamy. It has a very nice color tone to it. You can put it on with your finger. You can put it on with a synthetic brush. I thought this was a very nice cream bronzer. So let's talk about this palette from Melt Cosmetics. This is the first time I've tried anything from this brand. I'm really shocked at how good the quality is. It's a beautiful packaging. I like that it's super thin. I think you could travel with this, wouldn't take up a lot of space. You could leave it on your countertop. I think you would reach for it more than you think you would. It is $74. It is quite a bit to pay for a palette. Because my eyelids are getting more crepey and they're getting more wrinkly, I can't wear cheap eyeshadows anymore. They have to be easily blendable and super smooth and super buttery. This is what I got from Melt Cosmetics. This palette is amazing. You saw when I just swatched a couple of these. I'll even do the yellow. I mean, that's just one swipe of the palette. One swipe of the metallic. That's the orange. This one is the green. One swipe only. That is one of the prettiest green shimmer colors I have ever seen. The black is a very nice black. It is like an onyx black. It is super smooth. It glides on super easily, and you could use a very nice shadowy, edgy look with that. This palette made me want to try something a little bit different. It made me want to push myself outside my comfort zone. In the future, I'm definitely going to try to put a look together using this side of the quad. I definitely think that the Melt Shadow Palette is worth the investment. Okay. The Charlotte Tilbury Matte Beauty Wand. This is seriously pigmented. A little goes a long way, so I would recommend put some on the back of your hand, dab it off with your finger, and then apply it. I love that it's matte because not everybody wants a shiny blush. It's just a really pretty blush. So I would recommend the Charlotte Matte Wand. A little goes a long way. So in this case, I would say less is more. The Givenchy powder. I don't get the hype. Now, normally with high-end beauty manufacturers, we are paying for the packaging. And I'm prepared to pay a little bit more because of that. So this is plastic. Not only that, this is cheap plastic. This container is something that you would find at the dollar store. I don't understand what you're paying $74 for. I still feel like it was too light of a powder and it gave off this white cast. It did take a while for it to absorb into the skin. For $74, this should be spectacular. And it's just okay. I really think that there are better products at Sephora that are half the price that do a much better job than this powder. I think there's powder at the drugstore that would give you the same, if not a better result. Save your pennies. I would not recommend buying the Givenchy Prism Libre Loose Setting Powder. Okay. So next is the highlighter from Danessa Myricks Beauty. I thought the packaging looked really intriguing. I thought it had some really nice colors. I like that it's not emphasizing any sort of texture on my cheek area. And it just gave my skin some really nice luminosity without being too overpowering. If you're looking for a highlighter that's not so intense, that's a little more subdued, that just gives some nice little bit of radiance and glow to the skin, that doesn't look like it's wet, that doesn't look super shiny, so I would highly recommend it. So my last product was the Haus Labs Hybrid Lip Oil. This was actually really nice. I haven't tried a lot of lip oils, because I'm always afraid they're going to stain the lip. It's not as dark as I thought it was going to be, which actually is quite nice. It does add some really nice hydration to the lips. I just think it looks really pretty. My lips look super juicy, super hydrated, and it did add a little bit of color, but not too much color. So I would totally recommend the Haus Labs Hybrid Lip Oil. So that was my review of all the new products that have launched at Sephora. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.